good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be in the world. My name is Mbizom Zamane, and you have joined us here on Joga Afro. Okay, before we even get started, please like, subscribe. You know the whole social media live YouTube streamer thing wanting. All right. And as usual, I'm with the gents. Fellas, you guys want to give a shout out to the viewers at home?
Our gents, Lotolo Ramuki here. We're back again. Back again. Please enjoy the show. Listen to the craziness that's going to happen today because today is going to be fire. Enjoy it with us.
It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. Miltonius, you want to give a shout out to the peeps down there?
Shout out to everyone watching right now. Uh, stay tuned. Stay tuned. We have a jam packed show, and we're gonna give you the heat today. We're gonna bring the heat, bringing heat only.
Bring the heat. Bring the heat. After a 1 week hiatus, we have Mr. Chad Peterson back in the fray. Chadley, what's good, my man?
Hello, I come back.
Sure, boy. You're
I'm
back
ready
in the
for your
mix. All right, all
definitely.
right. Thanks, gentlemen. So we have a few pretty interesting topics. Um, One of them is pretty serious concerning world football and the state it is in today. We're going to talk a little bit about this proposal for the World Cup being every 2 years, which I'm not a huge fan of. We're going to talk about EA Sports and the FIFA ratings. Okay, that's one of the highlights of the day. And then we're also going to enter into the ring and we're going to box over who are the top 10 African footballers of all time. The guys were requested to make lists. You, the viewers at home, we asked for you to make lists, okay, so that you can come and tell us your in order, okay, in order, so that you can come and defend yourself in an all-out war for the top 10 places for African footballers of all time. Anyway, gents, let's get straight into it because you know how things time sometimes runs away from us. But World Cup every 2 years. This is one of Arsene Wenger's brainchild, and as we I think everyone in this group respects Arsene Wenger for a multitude of reasons. But what about this proposal? World Cup every 2 years. Just your initial reactions to hearing about this proposal, gents.
Finger
What
out.
happens?
No, honestly, I'm so sorry. That was my initial reaction. At first, I heard about the 2 year proposal, but I didn't know it was Austin. Austin was complaining for the last 8 seasons, his last 8 seasons, about fixture congestion.
Yep. Yeah, he had.
Yet this is the same man who wants to make a World Cup every 2 years.
Yep.
What kind? What? I don't get it. You complain about something only to make the situation worse. Is he petty? Is he feeling petty because he's gone? He's out. So he doesn't have
Doesn't
to
have to
deal with
deal
it.
with the pressure. Yeah, I thought it was a very odd proposal coming from him. Ramuki, it seemed like you had wanted to say something there.
No, I just wanted to add on. I mean, I think of it on a scale of the continental scale.
Mhm.
Now, what happens to African football
That's precisely right.
continentally? What happens
Hmm.
to that? So now, if
Hmm.
it's every 2 years, we're every 2 years.
Hmm.
So now our African players going to be leaving twice in a year.
Hmm.
So they're not going to be
Hmm.
part of any football in Europe. And
Yeah,
what does that mean now in terms of signing and transfers? If you're an
yeah,
African, it's like, hey, I can't get you this season because you're going to be mostly been playing in the World Cup or in the continental level.
yeah. I mean, there were already coaches like Sir Alex Ferguson who claimed that he didn't sign African players because they would then leave for AFCON every 2 years. Okay, we know
Exactly.
that's a lie. But there are already coaches that were using that
That
that was their
excuse.
excuse, yeah, for
Yeah.
not signing African players. So what are
Yeah.
the ramifications?
Now, I think it probably might be another way of actually limiting African players in the in European stage now.
Is this your conspiracy theory there,
No, I
Ramuki, coming
mean,
up?
I mean, think about it. It's a good way to say, listen, we don't want you here without saying we don't want you here.
Yeah, that is very true. It's already become harder to get work permits in England, for example, for African players, and European players also actually need work permits. But obviously, their work permits are easier to get. Their
They're more
leagues are rated
lenient, yeah.
higher. They're more lenient. Yeah, you're not going to bring your village here, so they have more trust with Europeans. Milton, what was your initial reaction to this World Cup every 2 years?
Well, my initial reaction is actually asking a lot of questions because some of the questions I have on my mind is what's going to happen to other competitions. How are they going to work it out with the Euros, Copa America, AFCON? I mean, are these so-called smaller tournaments like AFCON have to compete for eyeballs with the World Cup and the Euros and all these other international competitions? People aren't going to watch it. We saw with the Euros what happened. The Euros were playing with the Copa at the same time, and people weren't even thinking about Copa except for the true football heads who follow everything football. But when it comes to the regular consumer of football, they're watching the Euros because that's the biggest stage.
The glamorous tournament. That's
the glamorous one. Tournament. Exactly. So
the Hollywood of football.
Also, what happens to women's football? How do where they're going to fit in their World Cups, their tournaments, when at the same time you're trying to promote women's football. So there's a lot of questions to be addressed, and I don't think they really considered those things.
Yeah, I actually have some answers to some of these questions that you have, Milton. So World Cup every 2 years, okay, even years, okay. So for example, it would be World Cup 2022, 2024, etc. The Confederation Cups, okay, so your Copa America, UEFA, and so on, AFCON would be in odd years. Okay, so we know that the Europeans do Euro every 4 years, but Africans do it every 2 years, and I believe so do the South Americans now, or they were every 3 years or something odd.
They've had like 4 tournaments in the past 7 years.
Yeah, or something like. I think it's because they changed how many years they were doing it for. So the South Americans and Africans have it more frequently for obvious reasons, which is that it's an opportunity to showcase their best talent, to particularly European clubs, of course. It helps with internal development of the game, right? Which, most argue lags behind the rest. Okay, so there would be either 1 or 2 mid-season international breaks, which would be either in October or October and March. Okay, which would both of them or one of them would equal a month. Okay, so a month in total, and that is the only time when qualifying for the major tournaments would occur in these 1 or 2 large international breaks. Okay?
Wait, isn't Champions League in March, April, semifinals, quarterfinals, finals?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The knockout stages come after that winter break, right? European winter break. And then there's the claim that there would be guaranteed rest periods for players once the tournaments are over. How long? I wasn't able to ascertain. Okay, and UEFA has already rejected this biennial
Makes
World Cup.
sense.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about some of that stuff there?
They're fighting with big money there, because I mean, what's this? Europa, Champions League. That's within the time that they actually still playing their finals, isn't it? So the eyes are going to be there now. Your best players aren't there to actually showcase that. Who's going to watch that now? If Messi's not there, who's going to watch that? If Ronaldo's not there, who's going to watch that? If Neymar's not there, who's going to watch it? Because it can't stop if that's the case. It's going to have to carry on. It has to work simultaneously, because one can't stop in the other, or else what are the guys going to be doing for the whole month?
it's just very difficult to understand how adding more matches to already congested fixture schedule is going to help the game in some way or another. And this is really just from a logistical standpoint. Because if we then take it to a more romantic perspective, right? One of the beautiful things about the World Cup is the fact that it's rare. Every 4 years, right, is when this huge tournament happens, and that's what makes it so valuable. It's the rarity, the rare number of opportunities that players have to perform on this stage. This coming together of nations, whether it be as rivals or people supporting one another, the underdog story, all of these romantic things that we love about the World Cup will become trivial, mundane. We see it all the time now. So don't you guys think it will also lose its effect in that way?
We keep saying it's going to be
Indeed.
we keep saying to other leagues as farmers leagues. Now it's going to be a farmers World Cup.
Mm, mm,
It's gonna because you're gonna be everything's gonna be more or less the same team, same countries frequently.
Yeah, there's no chance for them to sort of revise, become a
Prepare
different
and
team, different players,
100%.
kids
Nope.
kids appear. What
Yeah.
do you think there, Milton?
I think I mean, I agree with your sentiments. I think it's going to lose its effect on a lot of people because, I mean, we wait for so long for the World Cup to start, knowing that it's going to be it's going to be spectacular. And also, I think also some of that little thing in the back of your mind, knowing that some of your best players they don't have a lot of time with the national team, so playing in the World Cup, adds a little bit of an edge, especially when you know this might be his last World Cup. Some of those things will be lost because people will be playing. It,
It's
it's going to
fine. I'll
turn
get
into
another
a
chance
regular
in
league.
2 years.
Yeah, it's going to turn into a regular league or a regular tournament that they play every year, or it's going to feel like that.
It's gonna
It's going to
feel
feel
like
like
that
how
for
we
sure.
Yeah.
we see this all the time. We see this all the time.
Definitely, I
Yeah, I don't
I
know. Also,
absolutely see that one.
I also wonder what's going to happen with in terms of like players and their fitness levels. If they're going to be playing so many matches so frequently for such a long time. I know you spoke about that break, but I don't know if they'll be able to handle that intensity. If that will cause a spike in injuries. That's a possibility as well.
Or even burnout. Or
Yeah,
even
yeah,
burnout.
exactly.
When you go back to your club, now you don't even feel like seeing a football. Because I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
are they still they're still increasing the amount of teams, right? In the World Cup.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
the next the one in USA, which
Mm-hmm.
is the 26, is it?
2026.
2026,
2026.
yeah.
That one is supposed to have more teams.
Okay, so now it means you
48?
play
I can't remember.
48
because you're gonna
teams.
play
Yeah.
two. You're
48.
gonna have to play 2 games now. You're gonna play 2 games. You draw one, you lose one. It's a must-win for the other one. So the intensity for the 2 games, just for you to go to the next stage, is
Yeah,
gonna be hectic.
it's a bit much. And then to have 48 teams gathering every 2 years. I mean, is that the idea as well? Or is that World Cup with the 48 just a once off? I mean, there are a lot of questions, and I'm sure
Questions,
they're
yeah.
dealing with them there. But Sunday Olise, legendary Nigerian former Nigerian captain, former Nigeria Super Eagles player, he claims that uh, Confederation of African Football actually supports the proposal. And quote, I can see why African football is happy with it because it goes with the Africa Cup of Nations, which every 2 years helps us to sell ourselves. Okay. But again, the question becomes, how does an African national team play qualifiers for AFCON and the World Cup, which both are every 2 years? Where is the space for the football? Where is the
Let me
space for the
Okay.
rest? Where is the space for
If I
club?
can, if I can come in on that,
Please.
I remember the 2010 qualifiers were joint. So
Okay.
they took the best 16 and they made AFCON, and then they just continued with playoffs. So the qualifiers were joint.
Okay.
So in that sense, it's possible. But I'm going to throw another spanner in the works with regards to this discussion. When you plan a World Cup, you don't plan a World Cup once the previous World Cup is finished. You plan before you get the bid. So while you're getting the bid, like I remember with us in South Africa in 2010, we planned for the 2010 World Cup back in 2004 already.
Yeah, we had to get our bribes sorted.
After we lost to Germany, because we were aiming to get 2006. So we planned for the World Cup in 2004 already. And I mean, even if you plan smack bang after the next World Cup, it's haphazard. You need first world infrastructure. And if you're gonna do it every 2 years, it's gonna be a mess logistically, because your stadium needs to get up to standard. Your infrastructure, your marketing, your profiling of the actual tournament, of the teams, your chaperoning, your staff. In 2 years, it's impossible to plan.
Even worse for
and the amount
Africa.
of money, and the amount of money required, right? Because this it keeps quadrupling every World Cup, the cost of each World Cup, and of course the bar that's been set by these gents in Qatar is one that's pretty much unattainable by any other commonsensical economy. So
And
I mean,
football,
go on, Milton.
football also needs to reduce its carbon footprint, man. That's a serious thing. The more tournaments and all these events that they're hosting, is the more CO2 emission that they're producing, which is something that Wenger spoke about, that they want to reduce that. So I don't know how playing more games is going to do that.
Is Wenger getting senile, or is he just contradicting himself?
Wenger is a very complex gentleman. We know Wenger is very complex, enigmatic. Okay, so it's difficult to know exactly what Malume Wenger is really trying to do here. But again, but that's also something that makes me feel at least humble in my opinion of, or rather in my my rejection of this proposal, because perhaps there's something I'm missing. Perhaps there's something that the great Arsene Wenger sees that we don't quite see, or we're not quite understanding in terms of how it will actually be put into effect. Because, of course, again, we don't have all of the details. We have a lot of questions amongst ourselves that we're not sure exactly how to answer. So I don't like the idea. That's why I said, what are your initial reactions? Because upon further inspection, maybe we might find that it could potentially work out for the better. But listen, especially when CAF says they're supporting it, that's what makes me skeptical. Even that makes me skeptical. No, it makes me skeptical, because now CAF was just here saying that they want to implement the Super League here. In Europe, they rejected it immediately because they understood what the ramifications would be for the average club, or worse, for the below average club. But in Africa, they say, no, let's do it for our 20 teams from 54 countries. Yeah. I mean,
Ridiculous.
Clearly, nobody's using their brains.
Yeah, they don't understand.
Because here's my.
Go ahead.
Because here's my thing. Because here's my thing. Already in Africa, right? On a management level, we are developing. On a management and an admin level, we are still developing a continent.
Okay.
All right. So I think in a way they're trying to take that part away from us, to say, listen, you guys can't manage yourselves. We'll do it by me. Am I back?
Ramuki, I'm not sure we caught what you said. You're coming in and out. I think Escom is after you. What one more time, buddy? Can you say that for us one more time,
Damn
brother?
it.
I think you're good
I'm
now.
saying in Africa we are still developing in our management in our management continent, and I think they want to take that part away from us to say we'll manage you, and I think that's the wrong way because they don't understand our culture.
Mm,
They don't
mm,
understand how we do things and our social backgrounds. They won't
mhm,
accommodate that, and I think that's
mm.
going to be the wrong way to see it.
They never
Even if
have.
we Do you understand? So as
Mm,
much as many players might be seen, which is truthful, which may happen, the leagues are going to suffer. The continent itself, in terms of how they make leagues and tournaments, that's going to suffer even more, and that's going to be
mm.
even wrong. It's going to be even more wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, what we already struggle, like you're saying, we're already still trying to develop this, our capacity for self governance, working with world football entities, but also saying this, we need to do this as Africans for Africans, and balancing that desire to be part of the global football community, but at the same time to look out for our own interests. We often aren't
100%.
very good at balancing that, and I think our blind support for something like that, it kind of plays into the same hands. I don't know. It just seems like too much football. But hey, these Africans can play, and they can play. They're fit. Maybe you're looking at a situation where, because you're playing so much football, you have to bring more players into the national team. So maybe instead of having a squad, what is it, 25, 26, you're now bringing in a squad of 32, or something. Maybe you're largening the squads. What are the ramifications of that? I don't know. That's something that would need to be studied, and to checked
That's
out
going to be
checked
a
out
cost
against.
issue.
Of
That's a
course, it's a
cost
cost
issue.
issue.
35 rooms
In
traveling
where? In Africa,
to
35
different
rooms.
countries.
80.
Oh well, you guys are sharing bunk
No, I'm
beds.
saying when you're traveling, no, of course, but you still have to pay for 35
Yeah,
plus
there's
because that's the
35 heads.
35 players, and you
Yeah,
still have the staff members. Now you have to increase your staff members as well because not one physio. Now you're gonna have to have maybe two, three, four, maybe physios because again, like Milton said, the injuries are gonna be stacking.
yeah. The
Injuries are
injuries
gonna
are
be
going to be
stacking, so you're
stacking.
gonna have to now have more. That's gonna be I mean, already,
Yeah, you're
already,
right.
Uh,
already, that's just too
and
much money when I
The
think about it.
Malawi government just came out and said, was it Malawi? The Malawi government just came out and said, listen, we don't have money for the football team to go to qualifiers next next month. God knows what
Imagine.
that means. Why doesn't this government have money to
Ima-
send their footballers to World
Ah,
Cup qualifiers? But anyway, TIA and everybody
They're
else.
ashamed. They're ashamed. They don't want to pay for embarrassment.
Ish. Ish. All right, gents. Let's take a look at some of our comments that we have here. Big up to Motiba and On Go Liberia for being with us, and anyone else that's managed to come past, and anyone else that will come, hopefully in the near future, as we're heating up over here. But On Go Liberia asked, what are current footballers and coaches saying about the proposal? That is the World Cup proposal. Well, again, one of the other things that Olise said, Sunday Olise said, is that these guys can't only speak to the organizations and the executives about this. They need to talk to the players. They need to talk to managers. They need to talk to fans. They need the input of all football proponents to make this decision, because the players are the ones that play. They use their energy, their blood, sweat, and tears. The fans are the ones who consume this, and we are all fans at the end of the day. But also the managers, like we were just talking about, players being absent all the time for this and that and this and that. The owners of the clubs, the managers of the clubs, who have to go on dealing without their, sorry to say, their investment. What happens to them as well? So it seems like people are saying that there should be more dialogue. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. But the initial reaction across the board seems to be a negative one. The initial reaction from what I've read, from what I've seen, it seems to be people saying, look, we don't want this 2-year World Cup thing. It's just no good. Anyway, gents, let's move on from this, okay? Because we're going to get to one where we're going to fight for 30 minutes. So I want to have time for us to do that. Let's quickly move to talking about EA Sports, FIFA's consistently erroneous and borderline racist ratings for players on the game. Gents, how long has this been going on, and why is EA Sports, whoever's involved in this, EA Sports, FIFA, why are they so terrible at rating players?
Man, it's they don't I feel they don't have the right analytics or the right measures in terms of compiling data and statistics to base their stats on, or base their player attributes on. Like, if there's one thing I can say where Pro Evolution is better, is that statistically and like in terms of attributes, the players are more accurate.
But is that difficult to do? Because it's by far the largest grossing and the most popular football game out there, right? Video game out there, other than maybe Football Manager. I'm not sure if Football Manager competes, but the scouting in Football Manager is absolutely spectacular, to the point where you actually have real-time coaches and clubs using it to identify some talent. And as you just said, Pro Evolution was better with that. So what's up with FIFA? What are they basing it on at FIFA?
I think the people who are making the ratings are problematic. I don't think they understand football as much as we do. I think these people are not football people, but actually just developers who are basing all of this on just data that they're looking at with their raw eyes, instead of adding a human touch to it. We know that there are some intangible things that players have that give them extra ratings. Like but nonetheless.
Okay, but I'm sorry, Milton, let me interrupt. Yeah. Let me interrupt, because I have to ask you, when you say intangible, is Antonio Rudiger hitting 35 or 33 kilometers per hour in a match, is that intangible for him to then have a pace rating of 74? That sounds super tangible, bro. Right? I even froze him. I even froze his whole internet with my good point there. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand what he's trying to say, is that there are those intangible things. Maybe when we're talking about creativity, vision, composure, right? These are definitely less tangible rating elements. Mara pace, speed, strength, fitness. These are all things that are measurable. So why are they consistently underrating some players and overrating others?
Can I also say that FIFA follows hype?
Yeah, they definitely follow hype.
Yeah,
they definitely follow
it's a popularity contest.
Yeah, I mean, 1 year contest.
So
yeah, sorry. It definitely is. Go ahead, Chadley. Finish your point.
Oh, sorry. Like, I remember 1 year. What year was it? I think it was 2015 or 16. Ram went on Twitter and like blew the whole of Twitter up, because how can he have a 70 rating as a young Everton striker banging 25 goals or something like that?
Yeah.
How on earth could he have 70 pace as explosive as he is?
Yeah, I mean, ridiculous. In fact, Antonio Rudiger said he's one of the fastest players, if not him, then the other fastest player at Chelsea is probably Romelu Lukaku. And they do this often. I used to remember, you want to play with Kaizer Chiefs or Orlando Pirates, in those classic teams. And okay, you don't expect the guys to be rated extremely highly, but you can't then come and tell me that, the average pace for an African footballer is 65. No ways. If the one rating that should be through the roof, it's the
Yeah.
pace. It's the pace rating. You can put decision making low or whatever other
Pace,
ratings.
physicality.
Oh, you cannot. It's impossible. You cannot say to me
Yeah.
that on average African players are slow.
No way.
Our slowest players
You
are considered quick in Europe.
I saw
Go ahead,
Adama Traore.
Mm.
I saw Adama Traore was livid when he saw 80 on his physical, as in physicality 80. He was livid. He was like, I'm probably the most or one of the most strongest people in Europe, and you're gonna give me 80.
Strongest. Yeah, I
80.
mean, even Cristiano Ronaldo, I think his physicality was rated less than Kevin De Bruyne.
Yes.
I mean, look,
But
we
how
know
is the
Kevin-
linebacker?
Come on.
How is an NFL linebacker
Yeah.
rated 80? This guy was literally contacted by NFL teams to play as a linebacker, not even a running back.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's absolutely absurd. And yes, they get it wrong across the board. But as we know, as with most things, the Africans suffer most. So another good example is Alaba. Okay. Alaba is rated lower than Jordi Alba. The same Alaba that has been going to the Camp Nou for the last 2 or 3 seasons and destroying Barcelona. I mean, no
And punishing.
contest. Punishing Barcelona. A player that can play perfectly at center back, left back, and at center mid in natural positions. He's played all of them over the last 2 or 3 seasons for Austria, Bayern, and now Real Madrid. And they want to say that Jordi Alba, this year's Jordi Alba, last 2 seasons, Jordi Alba is better than him. I mean, these are things that are absolutely absurd for me. Mendy, the best goalkeeper in Europe, right? The best goalkeeper in Europe, took Chelsea to Champions League final, has something absurd
League
like
final,
33 clean sheets in 50-something matches. I mean, an absurd statistic. I can't remember exactly what it is. He's rated 81 or an 82. They just won the Champions League. He's the best. He was rated the best goalkeeper in Europe. Ter Stegen, on the other hand, with Barcelona giving up 3 goals a game to Elche, is rated 89 or 88.
89. One of those 8s was that 8 that he conceded at Bayern.
You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous ratings that do not reflect what's actually happening on the football field. Is, popularity, nationality makes a difference because Sergio Ramos is the highest rated center back in the game, or the second highest rated center back in the game. I think it's Virgil and himself or something like that. The man hasn't played football for when's the last time you guys saw Sergio Ramos play football?
The last time I saw him play football, he took a penalty.
I mean, where does that rating come from? Reputation? Does it come from being Spanish? I don't understand. It really doesn't make sense to me. Mo Salah's rating dropped from last year. Last year, he's one of the top goal scorers in the league. Okay, he's one of the top goal scorers in the league now. Just got to his 100th goal, constantly banging goals, Champions League, what have you. His rating drops.
But you see, there's certain embarrassment.
They actually like Mo Salah and they still dropped him. I can't imagine if they don't like you.
It's
Do you think they like Mo Salah?
Because this is only about
I don't
who
think they
likes
like
who.
Mo Salah.
I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. I don't think they're fans of any real African players because also for me, Ndidi is rated I think he's one of the highest rated Africans, and he's rated 85, 84, 85.
Okay, but that's a fair rating for Ndidi for me.
Is it a fair rating for you? Is it okay? That's fair, fine. But for me, Ndidi should be higher. He's wanted by Manchester United. He's wanted by all the top clubs in the world, and he's by far the best. One of the by far the best center back in the Premier League for CDM in the league for me. I don't think there's been a more consistently performing, except for maybe N'Golo Kante. That's the only person that, for me, you can say as CDM that you can say, okay, let's bring in a conversation with Ndidi. There's no one else at CDM. Who else?
I was just about to say, how much is Ndidi again?
I think Ramuki, you're breaking up, buddy. But I think you asked me how much Ndidi is rated, and I think it's an 84, 85. I can't quite remember.
Yeah.
We're losing Ramuki. Go ahead, Chadley.
I'm happy with an 85 rating, but I hear you when you talk about levels, because if he's an 85, then surely they're rating a Declan Rice at 87.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's where you're getting at.
Exactly right. That's precisely what I'm getting at. And that's precisely the kinds of things they do. I mean, pretty much every English player is overrated in the game. I mean, Harry Kane I think he's like top 22 or top 11 rated striker. And that for me is just, not striker, excuse me, top rated player. And that for me is outrageous. He definitely shouldn't be. So it's, there's just a lot of ratings that shouldn't be as high as they are for European players. And actually the other people who benefit from this are Brazilian players. Brazilian players always get ranked higher, in my opinion, than they should be. I guess it's reputation. And then a lot of African players, or players from your lesser nations, your lesser known teams, etc., get rated pretty lowly, and I don't think that's fair, of course.
What's Victor Osimhen's rating? Just out of interest.
It's low. I think it was 79 or 80. It's low. It's low. It is low. It is low. And this is precisely the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Right? Just because they're not speaking about him at Sky Sports, okay? Just because they're not talking about him at Sky Sports, he's rated so low. The guy is a juggernaut. Even if you're going to, again, criticize his tactical acumen, criticize his technical abilities, fine. But you cannot rate a guy who scores with so much consistency in such large games so low. He's at least 83.
This man, alongside Renato Sanchez, carried Lille on his back.
This is my point.
And then he's carrying Napoli on his back and his shoulders right now and last season.
Exactly. In his first season.
And he can't even clock 80?
Come on, man. And that's exactly the kind of thing that I'm talking about. That's exactly the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Sadio Mane, for me, should still be one of the top wingers players in the game. He's not. You just look at these ratings and you think, what are they doing? What are they doing? Anyway, folks, viewers out there, drop your comments, whatever you think. You can also hit me up on Instagram, okay, at Bzinho11. I'll post that up here for all of you guys. And you can tell me what your thoughts are, suggest topics for the next show. Communicate with us, folks. It's all good. We're here for you. All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please, to the channel, like the video. Yeah, let's move on, gents, to the bread and butter, to the meat in the stew. Okay. Last week, we were talking about Mo Salah and Sadio Mane, talking about how good they are, where they rank in terms of African players of all time, where they rank in terms of Premier League goal scorers, Premier League players of all time, and it became one big beef. So I decided to bring that to this show. We asked our viewers, we asked you guys to create your top 10 African footballers of all time in order, and be prepared to defend your answers. Okay, that's what we did. Folks that are viewing, folks that will view, that's what we'd like you to do. Okay, por favor, your top 10 African footballers of all time. I know the guys are itching. It was difficult. We were sweating. I don't even trust in myself some of these names that I have here. I've second guessed myself up until this moment. Okay. But Ramuki, I know you were rearing to go on this topic when we were in the studio.
Yeah.
So why don't you start us off here, my friend? Why don't you start us off here?
I'm going to start by saying this. Yeah.
Before we go, do we go from top to bottom or bottom to top?
You have to go from 10. You have to go from 10. You have to go from 10.
Okay, just so we know the
From
rules.
10. Okay.
You have to go from 10.
Okay.
But I think what you have to do is you have to just give us your list, and then we go and we discuss. But if I interrupt you, Ramuki, please, I'm sorry. Okay, because
I'm just listen.
okay.
I'm starting from 10.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna say 10 George Way. 9
George Way.
Michael
10.
Essien.
Okay.
8 Kanu.
Nwanko is at
Kanu.
8. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. 7 Jomosono.
Okay.
6 Asen Zwelling.
Okay.
5 Mohamed Abu Treka.
Okay.
4
Okay.
Yaya
Okay.
Toure. 3 Drogba. 2 JJ Okocha. 1 Samuel Eto'o.
Okay, wait a minute. My first fight.
Okay.
Yeah. Not this is actually not a fight. Okay. The only reason I left Jomo and Ace, players like that of that era, is because I didn't see them with my own two eyes. Legend speaks.
Okay.
I get it. Legend speaks. But apartheid was knocking our heads, boys. So these guys couldn't really reach the pinnacle of world football as one would have liked. So that's why I left them out. But I have beef.
Okay.
You're saying Mane and Salah. You're saying Mane and Salah are not in your top 10.
I don't put them in there. And I told you this.
Wait, I'm gonna step in. I also feel Abu Trika is better than Salah.
Okay, that's fine.
Abu Trika, silent assassin.
No, he's quality, and he was one of my. He's actually one of my. My what you call it? He's one of my mentions. Okay, he's my honorable mention. Okay,
honorable mentions.
Yes, but for me, you said Nwanko.
I mean, for me,
you said Nwanko Kanu.
Arsenal.
Who
Arsenal
doesn't
boy.
love Nwanko Kanu? I get it, but over Mane and Salah, Nwanko has space.
With ease.
No ways.
With ease.
No ways.
You see, Ramuki is short. Ramuki is short. And Kanu had long legs.
The character he had on the pitch. The ability. Listen, again, and I want to make this very clear. This is not a fight to say that Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah are not quality players.
I understand.
I'm just saying that these ones fit in my top 10 before they do.
Okay.
I mean, for example, like for a guy like even Mohamed Abu Treka, for example, I mean, he was terrorizing Sundowns Pirates every time they were going to CAF there.
Everyone.
Everyone. That man was a
Club World Cup, my boy.
monster. Except the World Cup, yes.
But I'm not.
Except the World Cup. I'm talking about in the continent.
But
yeah.
you see, these are the kinds of things for me that do make a difference. They do make a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, ability alone, sure. Did we watch them? There's a lot of these little variables, right? And for me, Egypt's failure to perform, or rather to even reach the World Cup, makes a slight difference. Even when they had that little golden age with Hossam Hassan, they have Abu Trika, they had some top quality players. Even Bo, who's that Tunisian guy that I always really liked?
Atem Trebelsi.
No, not Trebelsi. Before Trebelsi. Is he Tunisian or Moroccan? I'm sorry. I'm thinking Moroccan. Come on, guys. The Moroccan playmaker. The ponytailed chap.
I can't get to the name now.
The name.
Can't find him.
The name is eluding me.
I can't get to the name.
Okay,
but remember, we're talking in Africa. So I mean, in Africa, for me, Mohamed Abu Trika, there's no way you can't put him. When you put him to the world, then I can understand why he can be far away. But in Africa, his influence in Africa, play-wise, even in CAF, in the clubs, for, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, you can't argue there.
Come on.
You knew when you saw him that the game is tough. Okay, on goal, Liberia just reminded me, Mustafa Hadji. That's who I was thinking about. Mustafa Hadji. What a player. But you see, global influence. Yes, it made a difference. Is it the only? No, but it did make a difference in my list. But I just can't. I can accept Abu Trika. I can even accept Jomo and Ace because these are legends of the game. These are cult heroes. These are gents that you cannot say. The way we speak about them, it's in the same breath as Bo Pele. Okay.
Yeah.
So I get it. Okay. But
Jomo
Kanu is in your list before Mane and Salah, and that is something I find unacceptable. I can't accept that. I can't accept that.
Listen.
If you had even put some other guys, maybe there's some other guys. I'll say them when.
No. I'm waiting to hear yours.
let's do Chadley first. Okay, folks, guys, if you're just tuned in or you're tuning in, we're talking about the top 10 greatest African footballers of all time, and we're already beefing. Okay, Chadley, talk to us.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's tough. Asian 10.
Okay.
For now, Salah 9.
Salah
9.
Okay.
As in Salah, as in he's 11. As in Salah.
Mo Salah 9.
Oh,
9. 9. Okay.
Keep coming.
I know it's a controversial decision. Mane 8.
Yeah, obvious.
Mane 8. Abu Trika 7. Abu Trika 7.
I'm okay with that.
King Kolo 6.
Kolo Toure.
King Kolo Toure 6.
I actually accept that. I actually accept him being in your top 10. Some of his achievements, for Arsenal, and even after when he went to City, some of the things he managed to do in football for Ivory Coast. I'm with you. I follow, my boy. I'm with you.
Oh, it's tough now. I'm trying to remember this list. Why can't I remember this list?
Because
I think it's because it's
why
backwards.
didn't you write it down?
No, he's changing his mind. That's what.
The other way around.
He's changing his mind. It's happening in the Joga Afro kitchen.
We know for a fact he's got it. He's got it on paper, but I can't put that guy on.
I got it.
Tell us.
Okay,
to be honest, I'm missing one. But okay, Radebe is next on that list. Lucas, my captain.
Oh, yes.
You people choose lists with your hearts. That's your problem, the two of you. You choose lists with your
Even
heart.
you're going to choose with your heart. Even you're going to choose with your heart. You think that your heart's going to backwards the
I don't think so.
Let Chad finish. Let Chad finish. Let
Yeah.
Chad finish.
No, I refuse. Okay, Shop, finish, Chadley. Finish, Chadley. Finish, Chadley.
Yaya 4.
Okay.
Yaya Toure 4. Didier 3. A close third, mind you. Because if I chose with my heart, it'd be second.
Okay.
But Eto second and JJ first.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually can accept your list. It's fine. I can accept that final 5 that you spoke there.
That final
Lucas,
5 is Radebe's in there.
Oh,
He's
no,
5.
Then final 4. Then the final 4. Final 4.
Guys. You guys are overlooking defenders. Why?
Remind me of your list. Ramuki.
My list.
Who was first?
George Way, Michael Essien.
No, who was number 1? Number 1.
My number 1 was
number 1?
Eto, second JJ.
Okay.
And then Drogba, we had the same way. Drogba, Yaya, we have the same way. He put in Radebe. I put in Abu Trika for 5. 6, he put Torre. I put Asen Soleng. 7, he put Abu Trika. I put Joe Mosono. He put Mane. I put Kanu. He put Salah. I put Michael Essien. And he put Essien. I put George Way.
It's not a question, Chadley, of not liking defenders. It's not a question of that. Although I don't have any defenders. But that's not the question. Because
He's an attacker. That's why. Attacking mentality.
That's probably why. Because I'm an attacker. Look, on my list, I had.
I'm going to tell you how many attackers didn't get past Kolo in training. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. No, I hear you. Okay. I had some defenders. For example, I mulled over Kolo, Rigobert Song, Hatebe, Lauren, Sami Kufour, and Jeremy. And Jeremy. Those are the 6 defenders that I thought, okay, could any of these guys make it in? They just unfortunately could not. But Hatebe, out of those guys, Hatebe would be the last one. Hatebe would be the last one.
Why?
Hatebe would be the last one.
Wait, you rate Sami Kufu higher than Hatebe? Look how he froze.
That's a good
Look how he froze.
That's a good question. That is a good question. Okay, maybe not. That is a good question.
Yeah,
maybe
please.
not.
I beg. Please, I
Maybe
beg.
not. Okay.
No, you listen, Chad, funny enough.
Radeby.
Radeby, my man. Okay.
Chad, I was also contemplating Radebe, to be honest. But I just didn't know where to fit him.
That's the
and
problem.
I'm like, let me just leave him.
But
yeah, he'd be my top 15. I think Salah and them would be there in top 30.
Guys, imagine your defense
with
Radebe and Kolo, center backs.
This man, what is he saying about top 30? No, man.
No.
Respect.
Okay. Let's hear your list.
On Goal Liberia said something interesting. I'm surprised no Abedi Pele so far.
On Goal Liberia, look at the stage.
Abedi Pele is coming now on Goal Liberia. Okay, here's my list, Chins.
10.
Kurtman.
10. Abedi Pele. Okay.
Ayu. Okay. Please say Ayu.
Okay. The problem is his sons have tarnished the name. Abedi Pele. Okay.
Ayu.
Essien. Michael Essien,
okay.
Number 9. Okay. Number 8, and I'm very disappointed that none of you gents had it. You had Mohatebe and Bonwanko Kanu, but no Roger Mila. No, Roger Miller. Number 8,
man.
Roger Miller.
No.
Number 8,
No,
Roger Miller.
man.
Gents, he
Wait,
dominated
Ramuki,
the African Cup of
me, I'm
Nations.
stopping.
Went to
Wait.
3
Let me
World Cups
interrupt
along
you,
with
because
him.
this man
Wait.
judged us
Wasn't
on
this
our
the same guy
emotions.
Wasn't this the same guy who was telling us about some players we couldn't see because of back in the days? Now we see this guy, one World
No,
Cup, he's
but
there.
I caught
come
I
on,
caught the
man.
end. I caught it, but he's an icon. He's an
Nah,
icon.
yeah, of course, icon.
You know,
Yes,
that's a
we
icon.
true,
agree.
but no.
But
We
listen,
agree, he's an
that's why
icon,
I
but
said-
come on.
Yeah, no, but that's why I said I accept your Jomoson. That's why I said I accept your
Yeah.
Jomoson, and I accepted both of your Abu
Ace
Trikas.
Ntole, yeah.
And you can't
Yeah.
Roger Miller. By the way, Abu Trika never saw World Cup. Roger Miller led Cameroon to 3 World Cups. Was it 3? 2 or 3 World Cups. And he was banging in those World Cups against giants, my friend, the likes of both Argentina. Okay, he was winning AFCON. This man dominated African football in the 80s. There have been
In the
what? Oh,
Okay, I hear you.
oh,
I hear you. I hear
when,
you.
when
I
did,
hear
when
you.
did Jomo
I
Sono
hear
dominate African football? He didn't
I
because
hear-
of that
I
thing.
hear. No, but he was in the US. He wasn't the dominating the US. He was there with
in
Pele.
America.
Wait,
in America.
Toki, I'm going to stop you.
MLS
Toki,
that was doing the running shootouts. Is that the MLS
Guys.
you're talking about?
Wait, guys.
the one with
Toki.
rolling subs.
Toki, I'm going to stop you. Your first
Yeah.
experience of Jomo Sono was that was your first
No.
experience.
No,
Don't lie.
I'm not
Don't
that
lie.
young, but I'm not that
Okay,
young, but
let me finish my list.
yes,
okay?
yes.
Let me finish my
You're on
list.
Roger Miller
Before
on
you start
7.
fighting me. Yeah, I was on Roger Miller. That was 8. You can't leave out George Weah, the king.
Yeah.
Can't leave out George Weah. I was surprised at how low he was in your list, but it's okay. I'm not going to fight. Okay, George Weah,
I
7.
didn't watch it.
Now the list gets serious. 6, Salah. 6, Salah. 6, Salah. 5, Sadio Mane. 5, Sadio Mane. Okay. And then the rest, I think we all generally agree with the top 4, which is but 4 for me is JJ Okocha. Okay. Why is JJ Okocha all the way at 4 and not a bit higher? Simply because of the underwhelming club career. Okay. Yes, I understand the extenuating circumstances and the culture around it. I get it. Okay. But JJ 4, Yaya 3, Drogba 2, and anyone other than Samuel Eto'o at number 1 is really, it's a farce. It's a farce. It has to be Samuel Eto'o.
I think that's shots to you, Chad.
It is shots to Chad. It is shots to Chad. It's a farce.
My question is, my question is this. No, my question is this: who's Mbizo's favorite player of all time?
Mbizo?
Oh, that's a question I must answer now. My favorite player of all time, you know, it's Ronaldinho.
Yes.
It's Ronaldinho. And
Who's
then-
his Grootman?
Okay, no, shut. No, I hear you.
Wait, who's his what?
His Grootman, he said. He said,
Who's his role model? Footballing role
Samuel
model.
Eto'o.
Yes, no, I get it. I get it.
It's
I get
JJ,
it.
dog.
JJ.
It's
yeah,
JJ.
JJ.
I hear you. But we have to also judge JJ on his own merits. Let's quickly see what the guys in the comments have to say. On goal Liberia is laughing at my running shootouts call out. Yeah, that's what they did in the MLS with those hideous jerseys. You run from the halfway line and then it's a 1v1. I mean, just American absurdities. Okay. And then we have Mfile shout out. True. JJ was the man, but Bolton was not the one for his club career. And that's the only point I'm making, gents. Is that
he was from PSG to that?
Yes, no, I get it. But firstly, PSG was not PSG then that it is now. 1, it was still large club, has always been, but it was not today's PSG. Okay. 2, again, it was too short at the height, at the peak, and JJ was for the streets. You know what I'm saying? JJ will never be forgotten because he's probably the most skillful African player of all time. But that wasn't the question, gents. The question wasn't the most skillful African player of all time. The question was the best. That's why you have, because no, I don't agree. I don't agree. And anyway, had it been the other question, Bo Lucas Hateb wouldn't have been in the top 10 anyway. Okay.
So wait,
The other South Africans that missed out for me was Benny, who I definitely
Of
considered.
course.
I considered Benny McCarthy.
he's probably better than Salah.
No.
Where's the button to kick people out of this? There's a remove button.
But wait,
I'll kick you out, Jack.
Yeah,
wait.
no, but I'm
Let Salah,
saying.
let Salah
I'm
get a
saying.
let Salah get a beer belly and let's see how good he becomes.
No, but think
Yeah,
about it.
okay. But gents, wait a minute.
Benny-
Wait a minute.
Benny-
Guys,
Benny
Salah,
was-
the only African that has scored more goals in the Premier League than Salah is Drogba. And he's catching Drogba. He'll be at Drogba's number this year. This season,
Listen,
before
he-
December.
listen,
He's gonna be
he
at
can-
Drogba's number. He's gonna pass Drogba.
Sure, I get
Okay,
that. I get that. He can do that. I get that. But also look at the types of coaches Drogba had and the type of play he had. He wasn't like with Klopp there where you can have like 700 chances to score.
So
Of
I
course,
I must punish Salah for that.
I'm not saying punish him. I'm just saying to me, if Drogba was in a Klopp team, I'm telling you, bruh, he'll be clapping goals, bruh. He'll be clapping goals. Left, right, and center. Just with Benny, just like Benny.
How
But he
about,
was with a
how
guy
about
with a
club 40
counter-attack
goals
play.
under Klopp?
You have 2 chances in a game, but he's gonna bang them.
Alba was somewhere around my initial cutting down. He was somewhere around top 30, actually.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Drogba stopped a civil war. Where was Mo Salah during the Arab Spring?
No, wait a minute. You see now. No, this is not fair. You see now what we're doing now. This is not fair. Gents, we're talking about football. Okay, sharp. I hear you. But gents, we're talking about football. Otherwise, we have to put Adebayor here because Adebayor was saving teammates from bullets, from a hail of bullets there in was it Angola? That AFCON. where
Put
they
him
shot
on
up-
your top
they shot
5.
up-
Drop Mane and Salah.
Who?
Who?
Bewitched.
Adebayor.
Adebayor. No, wait a minute.
No,
Yes.
Adebayor's only credit was
Bloody
that
button for
he
mistake.
withstood Arsene Wenger Muti for as long as he did.
Hey, that's because his was strong. His was strong. You hear the story about his family witchcrafting him to get his money, and he was supposed to send money home to the mother and what. Ay, Africans in witchcraft. Okay, so for the viewers, there's not many, but for the viewers, the guys who are here, whose list do you think is better? Okay, and anyone that should be viewing this afterwards, okay, anyone that should be watching this recorded on the website, okay, on YouTube, please tell us your thoughts in the comments. Okay, who is your top 10 of all time, and whose list?
I'm gonna
is
say mine
best?
again.
Say yours
No.
again. Let's hear it again.
I'm gonna say mine again. Everybody must
Go-
say theirs again.
run
So
through
just
it
to
again.
refresh them. Okay.
Refresh us. Come.
George Way, Michael Essien, Kanu, Joe Mosono, Asen Soleng, Mohamed Abutrek, Yaya Toure, Drogba, JJ, Eto. Come on, man.
Chadley,
No,
run it down
Radebe.
one more time. One more time for us. One more time for us, Chad. One more time for us. Run it down.
Okay. Essien, Salah, Mane, Abutrika, Kolo, Kadebe, Yaya, Eto, no, Drogba,
Drogba.
Eto, JJ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Abedi Pele, Essien, Roger Miller, Wea, Salah, Mane, JJ, Yaya, Drogba, Eto. Okay. Yaya,
I'm
Drogba,
sorry.
Eto'o.
Wait. I'm sorry.
Okay.
How is JJ so close to Mane and Salah? But I can't.
It's
I can't-
achievement.
no.
It's achievement. Achievement is a weight for me.
Man.
It is part of the variables, gents. The only reason JJ is there is based on pure ability. And that's how good he actually is. Because even though he won nothing, or well, not nothing, but very little, he won very little. and had very little club career success. I mean, his greatest claim to fame was saving Bolton from relegation. Okay. Mane, on the other hand, aside from breaking goal-scoring records, the fastest hat-trick in Premier League history or whatever the case might be, he also has won now. He has won Champions League, and he's won the Premier League. Okay, that is Drogba level statistics. Those are Drogba. Really, he should be closer to Drogba and Eto'o. Career-wise, yeah, career-wise, few have had a better career than he has. Better career than he has. Salah is on the same team.
Achievement-wise, yes. I see it. Achievement-wise,
yes. Yeah. And that's the weight that has brought them here. And JJ on ability alone, he played for a relegation team. But
Benny's got a treble.
He's top 5, huh?
Benny's got a treble at FC Porto. Then,
yeah, okay. And
he's got Champions League.
And I considered that. I considered that.
So
but he doesn't have a Premier League.
Do we put him near Drogba? I mean, he was at West Ham. He was at bloody West Ham. Not the David Moyes version.
But the difference is he doesn't score. But he doesn't score nearly as much as Salah. He doesn't score nearly as much as Salah, Mane, and Drogba. He scored, but not nearly as much. Yeah, but that's part of the variable. You can't say, "Oh, I understand that," but it doesn't count. It counts.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't count. Listen, I'm not saying it doesn't count. But what I'm saying is, in a better, Benny in a better team, when he was young like Salah.
You have very typical South African gymnastics.
This is a Joga Afro platform.
No, you have
Joga Afro platform. All the Africans are watching. They understand.
Okay, well, if Salah's Muti was stronger, they would have done better Egypt in the World Cup. If he had consulted the pharaohs in the tombs in Egypt. But please, Egypt
have always been poor in the World Cup.
Yeah, but you have Abu Trika. You have Abu Trika over Salah, and Salah has banged over 100 goals in the Premier League.
Yeah, but the difference is, has Salah won a calf?
No, he was
never
actually.
Why is he in the top?
Shut that down.
In the world.
But we're not talking world.
Should have won Ballon d'Or last year when Messi won it. He should have.
But we're not talking world. We're talking Africa.
No, but
African influence. He is more European than anything else.
Who's that?
Salah.
Who's that?
Salah.
Guys.
Okay, I can accept that. But he's the best. He's the best at what he does. He's one of the best. He's approaching Drogba.
Please. Wait, if you... Oh my gosh.
Does Drogba have an AFCON?
Listen.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, he has one. It was at the end there. Oh. They almost.
Where's that button? Where's that instant button?
It was at the end there. Okay, sharp. Yeah, sorry.
Where's that instant button?
Wait. Does Benny have an AFCON?
Benny doesn't have an AFCON.
No.
Benny doesn't have an AFCON. South Africa won it once.
98.
You see,
he got third and top scorer.
Yeah. Okay, he was top scorer. Yeah, he was top. That one tournament where he
banging in Africa.
Namibia. Yeah.
Banging in Africa.
Okay, sure. Okay, 17. Sure. That's Salah. Excuse me, Mane. Mane is banging in Africa. Mane bangs in Africa. Mane bangs in Africa. And he took Senegal to the World Cup.
Yes. I could see. That's why I say with Salah so close to JJ. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one. You
have Asen Solenga, Jomo Sola. You want to wrap? You have Nwanko Kanu over Abedi Pele, over Roger Milla. You have one. Even you know what? You have Nwanko Kanu over Riyad Mahrez.
That was poor. Yeah. That was poor.
From me.
Can we just say that? No, wait. Can we all just say this?
From me. Riyad Mahrez. Ability alone, Riyad Mahrez deserves to be in the discussion. Top 20.
No. He's an honorable mention.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Yeah, it's an honorable mention.
Yeah.
But Kanu wasn't even Nigeria's best ever striker.
He wasn't.
Say that again?
Yekeni. Who's that other guy?
George.
Wasn't even Finidi George. My man, this guy wants to bring Nwanko Kanu because of Arsenal, and then says to me, my selection of Salah is European, and this one just because the guy played next to Thierry Henry. Nwanko Kanu. That by far has been the worst selection in the top 10 here. Even Hatebe. Even Hatebe was a better one. Even Hatebe was a better one. Hatebe
I
captain.
know.
Hatebe is an icon. Nwanko, even in Nigeria, doesn't have a statue. Won't have a statue. Yeah, granted, those ones, I don't think there's enough material
I
for
think-
statue.
My leader, I think it's a good time to cut it before the fisticuffs get bloody.
No, it's fine. I'm still going to fight him next time I'm in South Africa. We're going to beef over that one. But you're right.
No,
That is where we're going to end it today, gentlemen. Thank you so much for your input. I really feel bad for my man Milton Nkateng. He would have really liked to get in on this conversation, and I'm sure he had a fantastic list. I'm going to ask them to post it in the comments so that you guys can get at him over his list as well. Folks, please don't forget to like, subscribe. You know the whole social media deal. Gentlemen, give one last shout out to the folks at home.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your comments, for your support. And again, thank you very much for allowing me to show you my top 10. I know it was the best one there. Thank you so much for that. Enjoy your night.
Just in response to that, right quick, I just want to put this here. The fact that Bizo had Abedi Pele and Wea higher on the list is the best list for me. Great show, gents. Anyway, Chadley, what do you have to say there to the peeps at home?
Firstly, I'm proud to be the youngest in this show. Clearly.
Listen to this guy, bro. Listen to this guy.
Secondly, no Kanu in your top 10s, guys.
Nah,
Make
no
better
comment on
decisions.
top tens. Please, about your life.
Make better decisions.
About your
This
life.
is for the kids out there. Make better decisions.
The kids don't know
Wow,
Wanko Kanu.
really?
The kids don't know
For a
Wanko.
guy that has
The
an
kids don't know
Adeba.
Wanko.
Wabebe.
Chad, say goodbye to the fans so that I can close this thing off and we can go our separate ways.
But yeah, kids, make better decisions.
All right. Thank you, Chad Lee. Folks, Mbizom Zamani here. This is Joga Afro. Big up to all the people that passed through to view all the comments. Please don't hesitate to drop comments on the actual video when it's posted. All right. I really, really appreciate everybody. Please tune in every Tuesday at the same time. The topics might change. It might be on the pitch. It might be off the pitch, but it's always football and it's always from an African perspective. Ladies and gents, have a great week. Enjoy Champions League because that's on today and tomorrow. And I will see you next week. Like, subscribe, one love. Peace out, everybody.
Well, let's go.
Rabebe.